Welcome to Rambam in Depth. Today we'll be discussing the Rambam's Halacha, Heschel Mikdash, Perik Hey Halacha Zayin, where the Rambam writes, Vieye Bito Biurushalayim, Ve'ene Zaz Misham, that the Kohen Gadol's house should be in Yerushalayim, and he can't move away from there. In other words, the Kohen Gadol has to live in Yerushalayim. He can't go out of Yerushalayim. And the Minchat Chinuch asks, what is the makar? What is the source for that a Kohen Gadol can't go out of Yerushalayim? So there are some Mefarshim who say there's no such halacha. It's not an obligation. He shouldn't go out of Yerushalayim. It's an Issa to go out of Yerushalayim. It's part of the mitzvah to bring glory to the Kohen Gadol, and the glory is enhanced when he's in a city of Yerushalayim. But Minchat Chinuch assumes that there is an Issa for the Kohen Gadol to leave Yerushalayim, and he wonders what is the makar for that. So the Minchat Chinuch says that the Kohen Gadol has to bring a korban mincha, chavite Kohen Gadol, every day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, together with the Talmud shel Shachar and the Talmud shel Ben Harbayim. And there's a halacha that whoever brings a korban has to stay overnight in Yerushalayim. The night after you bring a korban, you can't go away. You have to stay there until the next day. And therefore, the Kohen Gadol who brings a korban every single day, so he has to stay overnight, and he can't leave Yerushalayim because he has to stay overnight. And the next day he brings another korban. So there's perpetual korbanos for the Kohen Gadol, and therefore he has to always remain Yerushalayim. The problem with this explanation is, number one, not everyone agrees that the Chavita Kohen Gadol is the Kohen Gadol's korban. It's his personal korban. Some say that it's chiyuv on the tzibur, except it has to be done through the Kohen Gadol. But the main question is, in Sefer Mikdash David on Kachim, he says that the Rambam doesn't hold of that halacha, that if you bring a korban, that you have to stay over in Yerushalayim. That's not a halacha, according to the Rambam. There's machlokes about it, but the Rambam seems to paskin that there's no such halacha. So then why would he have to stay overnight just because he brings the chavit in if it's his personal korban? So the Mikdash David gives another answer. He says that the Kohen Gadol, by him, every day it's like a yontif for him. That's why a Kohen Gadol has to be makriv, even if he's an einan. An einan would be exempted from bringing a korban. He's not allowed to bring a korban. But a Kohen Gadol is mechuyev to be involved in the havayda even when he's an einan, because by him it's a regel, it's a yontif, and there's no din of aninus and yontif. The Gemara in Katan says that a metzora has to conduct himself as a metzora and yantiv. Why? Because it says v'hatzarua l'rabbeis Kohen Gadol, that a metzora, a Kohen Gadol, is also included in the dinim of tzeras. But a Kohen Gadol, and the Kohen Gadol, by him all year long, it's a regel, it's a yantiv. So you see that even a yantiv doesn't override the inyan of tzeras. But you see from this Gemara that by the Kohen Gadol, everything to him every day is a yontif, and that's for sure. But a yontif, you have to stay over in Yerushalayim. Whether you have to stay over when you bring a korban, your own personal korban, that's a different story. But if it's a yontif for you, and the Kohen Gadol has a din of yontif every single day, he has to therefore stay over in Yerushalayim, and he can't leave Yerushalayim. The Klei Chemda from Rabbi Dan Plotsky gives another answer. He says the Rambam holds that the tzitz that the Kohen Gadol would wear is meratza, appeases, atones for the sin of Tumah, of impurity, by bringing a korban betumah. But when does it have that effect? When does it have that benefit? Only bisman shehu al mitzvah, when he's wearing it on his forehead. And the korban ha'eda, Pirush and Yerushalmi, explains that the Torah obligates him to wear the tzitz all the time. Why? Because the ritzoi, when does they bring about atonement for that sin? Only when it's on his forehead. So he has to always wear it, because Tumah could happen anytime. Even at night, Tumah could happen. Why? Because when night they bring the Haktarat Evarim, Chalavim ve'Evarim, they burn the parts of the animal that were not burned during the day, and that can be done in an ephon of Tumah. The Kohen could become Tameh. So you needed the tzitz by day and also by night. So since he has an obligation to wear the tzitz, he can't go out of Yerushalayim, because a Kohen Gadol or any Kohen cannot take his bigdei kahuna outside of Yerushalayim. So therefore, the Kohen Gadol is restricted to stay in Yerushalayim. But the most logical and reasonable explanation is that the chiyuv of the Kohen staying in Yerushalayim is part, and smashma from the Gemara, that it's part of his glorification, that this is what enhances his stature by him being in Yerushalayim.